Beer. Beer is one of the oldest alcoholic drinks in the world, the most widely consumed, and the third most popular drink after water and tea. It is produced by the brewing and fermentation of starches from cereal grains, most commonly malted barley, although wheat, maize, corn, rice, and oats are also used. The fermentation of the starch sugars in the wort produces ethanol and carbonation in the beer. Most modern beer is brewed with hops, which add bitterness and other flavors and act as a natural preservative and stabilizing agent. Other flavoring agents, such as gruit, herbs, or fruits, may be included or used instead of hops. In commercial brewing, natural carbonation is often replaced with forced carbonation. Some of the earliest writings refer to the production and distribution of beer. The Code of Hammurabi included laws regulating it, and the Hymn to Ninkasi, a prayer to the Mesopotamian goddess of beer, a recipe for it. Beer is distributed in bottles and cans, and is also commonly available on draft, particularly in pubs and bars. The brewing industry is a global business, consisting of several dominant multinational companies, and many thousands of smaller producers, ranging from brewpubs to regional breweries. The strength of modern beer is usually around 4% to 6% alcohol by volume, ABV. Beer forms part of the culture of many nations and is associated with social traditions such as beer festivals, as well as activities like pub crawling, pub quizzes, and pub games. History. Beer is one of the world's oldest prepared alcoholic drinks. The earliest archaeological evidence of fermentation consists of 13,000-year-old residues of a beer with the consistency of gruel, used by the semi-nomadic Natufians for ritual feasting at the Raqefet Cave in the Carmel Mountains near Haifa in Israel. There is evidence that beer was produced at Göbekli Tepe during the pre-pottery Neolithic, around 8500 BC to 5500 BC. The earliest clear chemical evidence of beer produced from barley dates to about 3500 to 3100 BC, from the site of Godin Tepe in the Zagros Mountains of western Iran. It is possible, but not proven, that it dates back even further, to about 10,000 BC, when cereal was first farmed. Beer is recorded in the written history of ancient Egypt, and archaeologists speculate that beer was instrumental in the formation of civilizations. Approximately 5,000 years ago, workers in the city of Uruk, modern-day Iraq, were paid by their employers with volumes of beer. During the building of the Great Pyramids in Giza, Egypt, each worker got a daily ration of 4 to 5 liters of beer, which served as both nutrition and refreshment, and was crucial to the pyramids. Some of the earliest Sumerian writings contain references to beer. Examples include a prayer to the goddess Ninkasi, known as the Hymn to Ninkasi, which served as both a prayer and a method of remembering the recipe for beer in a culture with few literate people. And the ancient advice, fill your belly, day and night make merry, to Gilgamesh, recorded in the Epic of Gilgamesh by the alewife Siduri, may, at least in part, have referred to the consumption of beer. The Ebla tablets, discovered in 1974 in Ebla, Syria, show that beer was produced in the city in 2500 BC. A fermented drink using rice and fruit was made in China around 7000 BC. Unlike sak, mold was not used to saccharify the rice, amylolytic fermentation. The rice was probably prepared for fermentation by chewing or malting. During the Vedic period in ancient India, there are records of the consumption of the beer-like sura. Xenophon noted that during his travels, beer was being produced in Armenia. Almost any substance containing sugar can naturally undergo alcoholic fermentation and thus be utilized in the brewing of beer. It is likely that many cultures, on observing that a sweet liquid could be obtained from a source of starch, independently invented beer. Bread and beer increased prosperity to a level that allowed time for the development of other technologies and contributed to the building of civilizations. In society and culture, in many societies, beer is the most popular alcoholic drink. Various social traditions and activities are associated with beer drinking, such as playing cards, darts, or other pub games, attending beer festivals, engaging in zythology, visiting a series of pubs in one evening, visiting breweries, beer-oriented tourism, or rating beer. Drinking games such as beer pong are also popular. A relatively new profession is that of the beer sommelier, who informs restaurant patrons about beers and food pairings. Beer is considered to be a social lubricant in many societies and is consumed in countries all over the world. There are breweries in Middle Eastern countries such as Syria and in some African countries. Sales of beer are 4 times those of wine, which is the second most popular alcoholic drink.